To combat the drought, and people have come up with these water prescriptions. And then this is just a simple web search, come up all these different ones. I was able to talk to a few of them. For example, one of them was developed by Mr. Alan Seward of Ohio Department of Natural Resources. So I asked him a question, what's the basis for him to develop his water prescription? He said the volume calculation is based on 1 inch per week volume on the root ball. And then so regarding the volume, to his knowledge, is not studied. So it's mostly just empirical. This is another one developed by Professor Ed Gilman of the University of Florida. On his website, he said 2-inch oak trees in southern climates need 2 to 3 gallons of water every day. Well, you see, despite the fact that he said oak trees in the southern climates, and then the other factor about the sandy soil in Florida, where he do his research, this is the most widely cited reference for people developing their own water prescriptions. So about 3 years ago, I met him on a conference, and I asked him the question, how much of this 2 to 3 gallon water is wasted? Or in other words to say, how much of this 2 to 3 gallon water actually used by the tree? He said, that's a good question. That would take $1 million research fund and probably 10 graduate students and 10 years to find the answer. Well, it doesn't really answer my question about how much tree do you need. So I looked into the literature and I found this work from EPA. This is reported by EPA talking about the water efficiency in an agricultural field. As you can see, surface irrigation may be between 24 to 50%. Remember, this is an agricultural field. So if you have an agricultural field and then the water overrun from one row to another row, that's not waste. That's still on the field. You tell me how much of this water wasted. I dig deeper into the literature. I found Professor Dawson, from when he was at Cornell University, did research work of using sensors to check the sap flow, and then use the sap flow to convert into the standard level of how much water that trees transpire. What he found is that in the growing season, it's from 1.3 to 2.2 inches per month. And then so what that means is that the average during the growing season is 1.9 inches per month. What it means that if you have a 30-inch root ball, it's roughly about 2-inch tree, and then it will take 5.8 gallons per month. This is per month, not per day, not per week, per month. So, all right, you say that this upstate New York and it doesn't represent many other places. Well, let's use the August data. At 2.2 inches per month, that translates into less than 7 gallons per month on a 30-inch root ball. Again, this is the per month. This is not per week, not per day. I'm not saying this is the how much water you should put on the tree. I'm just saying that this will be served as a good baseline on how we define how much water needed. And then what's the missing in the water prescription? Well, the number one is the water, the losses. And it can be runoff, it can be evaporation, it can be computation. So all these need to be in the water prescription. Soil type, also the climate is going to affect the water prescription. It's like a doctor. Your doctor give you a prescription of a painkiller and then tell you that it will cure all your diseases. Right? Number one, you're not going to keep that doctor. Number two, you're not going to use that prescription. Regarding the water efficiency, I like to look at this fundamental chart, the plant available water chart. what it says is that the water you put in onto the ground, into the soil, may not become available for the plants. Anything below the permanent wilting point or anything above the fill capacity cannot be used by the plants. Actually, if you have the water above the fill capacity for too much, the water become a problem. In this case, it depletes the air from the roots. It causes the root rot problem. Typically, this excess water needs to be drained away quickly. And then you hope that you will be keeping in between somewhere between the fill capacity and the wilting point. I hope it will stay somewhere in between. So my question is the green dash line possible without causing overwatering problem, of course? Let's look at the situation in a city. Number one, we have an abundant amount of stormwater because the impervious surfaces we are using. And then can we store some of that water and then combine with a slow release irrigation method? And then we don't tell people how much water to use. Instead, we use the soil moisture as an indicator on how much water to use. I came up with this concept called solid water with air pockets. So when you have this rain or irrigation water come down, my idea is that use this solid water to absorb the excess water before it drain away. And then by doing that, and then it saves that water from being wasted, from becoming a runoff. And then because the presence of the air pockets, it will facilitate the air diffusing down to the root. So it will not cause the root rot problem. When the soil dries, the dried soil pulls the water out of the solid water. The water is not released by gravity. So it only goes out when the soil dries. All the irrigation system, you have to put a backflow preventer in the system to prevent the contamination of the potable water system. Because of that, there's no way to take the water back. So this will be the only one that will take the water back up when there's too much. And actually, it also solves the overwatering problem to a certain degree. So let's see some case studies. This is the case study we did in Richmond, Virginia. That already showed you how the trees died in the north block. In the south block, we use the solid water system. This is a Google map image showing in 2012. There's no tree there yet. Next time Google take a picture is already in April 2014. And then we did replace this water bag with the solid water system in August 2013. Covered with mulch, you don't see them on there. The trees are doing great in this picture. Of course, the water bag, the majority of the water bag in the north block got stolen. But don't worry, it only happened in Richmond, Virginia. It doesn't happen in Pennsylvania or Delaware. And then this is July 2014. We didn't even have drought. It's just a short period of dry period. 2015, this May picture, these trees are died. All the trees are doing great there. These trees are doing great. These trees are dying. July 2015, the dead trees are removed, and these trees are still doing good. 2016, my own picture showing the trees are thriving. So what the difference maker in this case? We did check the soil moisture in the first 4 months after we installed the solid water system. And then the soil moisture was checked on the scale of 0 to 10. Underneath the water bags over this 4 month period, we barely see it any time above 3. The only time was above 3 was after a big rain. And then underneath the solid water, we never see it below 3.5. And again, we did tell the city not to water these trees. And then the water bag trees, they do whatever they regularly do. We did ask for the city for the water schedule. We never got one. And we don't know if they ever refill the bags or they never refill the bag, but we never got the water schedule. And then this is another case study in Colorado, and then it's in a sports park. There are trees on the edges, and then the whole sports park is irrigated. This is what we got, and then this grass area, natural grass area, was automatically irrigated 3 times a week. But the tree was dying. The reason is because the soil moisture at 4-inch deep is only 10 to 20%. This is exactly what Dan was talking about. The irrigation system was designed for lawn, for grass, not designed for trees. Trees need much deeper watering. After the solid water system was installed, 3 weeks after, and then we see the tree coming back. And then the reason, again, is the soil moisture at 4-inch deep was increased to 50 to 70%. That showed you this case that the tree was dying in the middle with 2.5-inch rain because nobody refilled the bag. If you are the supervisor, you tell your people to go out and water them, refill the bag in the middle with 2.5-inch rain. They will lock their heads off right in front of you. I mean, so because nobody refilled the bag, the tree will die. So after bugging this property management company too many times, they getting enough of me. They told me to replace. Go ahead, do whatever you want. So I came here, replaced the water bag, covers the mulch. 1 week later, trees coming back, and this is the 1 year after, and then we never watered again, and then they're including a drought periods of 5 weeks on a 1/4-inch rain. You can check the rain record in Ashland, Virginia. And then this is very close to the end of the drought periods. You can see a little bit of wilting leaves, but no yellow leaves, no falling leaves. So this is another year after, and then the tree is thriving. And then no water after we replace with solid water. So the bottom line is that the green dash line is possible with this solid water with air pockets.